Hey, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Liz, anti-capitalist entrepreneur and business coach. And in today's video, we're going to talk about how to post content without feeling cringy. Cringy is the word that I hear everywhere, and I've heard it for literally years from people who struggle to create content and get it posted out there on the interwebs. And that's a big problem, because if you feel cringy every time you get ready to post your content to social media, then you're going to delay posting it, if you even post it at all. And if you don't post content, then that means you're not having opportunities for people to learn about your services, and you're definitely not going to be able to grow your business and make sales. So we're going to get to the bottom of why you're feeling cringy when you go to post your content and what you can do about it. But first, we got to figure out where this cringy feeling comes from. So this is what typically happens for my clients when they have these feelings of cringe and they're getting ready to post their content. You have an idea, and you get a little bit excited about this idea, and you start thinking through it. Maybe you're trying to jot things down about it, trying to flesh it out, add some color to it. But then as you're doing that, questions start to come up for you in your brain. You're wondering, well, if I say this, what if they say that? Or is this clear enough? Or, do I want to say it in this exact right way? These questions start to come up, and these questions are different directions that you can take with your content. But all of these different questions have answers that you don't know. So because you aren't able to answer these questions for yourself, you become uncertain about which direction you should take in your content. And then you start to think about that uncertainty that you're feeling. And you're wondering, well, if I'm not even sure which direction I want to go in this piece of content, then do I even know what I'm talking about? Like, what the fuck am I really talking about? Shouldn't I know what I'm talking about, especially if I'm trying to help people and grow a business? What does that mean? How am I even going to be able to help someone else when I don't even know what the heck I'm talking about? And this spiral leads to you just throwing the whole idea away, just trashing it. And you don't post. And the cycle continues every single time you go to create content. And maybe sometimes you get something out there and posted, but if you don't get enough feedback on it, then that creates evidence for you that, yeah, you're right, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, and maybe you should just give it up. That is a terrible cycle to be in, and you do not have to be in that cycle. But here's the truth. You feel cringy during this process and as you're creating, and you feel like you don't know what you're talking about because you actually don't know what you're talking about. Now, I don't mean that in terms of you are completely making things up and you're an idiot and you couldn't possibly help someone. No. It means that because you actually are such an expert in what you're trying to explain, you can see all the different directions that your content can take. And because you see all of those different directions, you're not quite sure which one is the one to take that makes the most sense. So because you see all these different directions, that is why you feel cringy, because these different directions come in the form of unanswered questions. And if you don't have answers to those questions or aren't certain on which direction to take, that's now creating holes in your content. Your content feels a bit incomplete, maybe too surface level or not nuanced enough, like it's not actually going to be helpful. It's like this. You know how if you're giving someone directions to get to your house, like say your friend calls you up and they're like, how do I get to your house again? Your immediate next question is, well, where are you? Because you want to know where they are so you can give them directions to your house. But when you're in this content creation process, it's like trying to give someone directions to your house without asking them where they are first. That is not going to be a fun experience because could be so many different areas and ways that you could get them to your home. But if you don't know where they're starting from, then it's going to be a confusing experience that'll lead to you wondering, well, what the heck am I even doing? Am I even providing helpful directions? And probably not, because you don't know where they're starting from. So in this example, your house is your offer, the service that you're providing for people, the solutions that you're giving to them to help them with their problems. So in order to get them to your offer, to your house, you have to know where they are first. That's the content creation process, because when you're creating content, you're literally just making a claim, sharing an insight, a lesson learned, and providing supporting examples as to why you think the way you think or feel the way you do. You're connecting the dots on this path, taking your audience on a journey to your house, to your offer, to the solution, the insight, the thing you want people to take away. But that means that you need to know where it is that they are and where it is you're trying to take them, because otherwise you're going to give them some pretty shitty directions. That's why in the offer code, we focus on helping you create the offer that is backed through feedback and market research conversations that you have with members of your audience, so that you can identify the simple problem that they need help solving and where they're at. And you want to customize a solution to that experience so that you not only can tell someone how to get to your house, but you can tell them how to get there using roads you know they'll want to take, roads you know they'll want to avoid. You'll know where it is that they keep missing that same turn over and over again, so you can help them course correct. It's important to start with that offer. Having your offer as the starting point in your head is also important, because it helps you to feel like you're in integrity in your content. Like you're being authentic, you're sharing straight from your experiences and not over promising or talking about things that make you feel uncomfortable. Because when you know exactly where your people are starting from, you know exactly where you're trying to get them to, that means you only have to share your experiences and the things you know. Like you don't have to tell them how to get to places you have never been or how to use roads that you've never driven on. You get to stick to your experiences, and you get to do that confidently, because why would you need to know 100 different ways to get back to your house when just a handful do the trick and get the job done just as well? And this makes selling in your content so much simpler, because if you feel cringy about your content, then you're definitely going to feel sleazy when you're selling. Because if you're not 100% confident in your content, then when you try to slap on an offer at the end of it or invite someone to work with you, it's not going to feel good. And you either will avoid that entirely and just stick to providing value, or you'll just throw the whole thing out the window again and just not show up at all. So you want to make sure that you don't feel cringy with what you're talking about and the journey you're taking your people on, so that you do feel comfortable selling your services so that you can grow your business. And it gets to feel natural. That's why in the offer code, I not only help you to identify the simple problem that your ideal clients have, so their starting point in their experiences, but I also help you to figure out what that best fit solution is that you can provide as the expert of this specific experience that they are dealing with. And when you feel confident about what it is that you help your people do, how you help them do it, and why you help them do it in that way, selling will be a natural next step in your content. So if you're feeling cringy about creating your content and posting it online, don't ignore it. Don't ignore that feeling. Address it. Instead of trying to do the same thing and hit the same wall expecting a different result, expecting to one day have figured it out or to have just felt differently, take time to build that understanding of your audience first, of their starting point, so that posting content becomes less exhausting and less performative. If you're ready to finally stop feeling cringy when you go to post your content, so that you can actually feel like an impactful thought leader with what it is that you're trying to build and get to freely express your ideas so that marketing and growing your business doesn't have to feel like such a pain in the ass, then join me in the offer code, my one-on-one program, where I help you through market research conversations to identify the simple problem that your audience needs solving and help you figure out your best fit expert solution to help them do it. Use the link in the description box below to book an interest call. We will chat. We'll make sure it's a good fit. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Also, you can find me on Instagram and Threads most days of the week. So come over there and say hi. I love it when people say hi. All right, take care. Bye.